Hi there, yet again my fellow exile. We are back with Conan, and as the other games weren't too popular, I decided to stick with this game for the time being. There are so many things to do in here, yet so little time, and frankly I would like to complete this game for once, or at least get close to the true end game, so here we are. Since I was on the verge of triggering the Purge, I decided to go back to the Hanuman's Grotto to see if I can get yet another gorilla, as they are formidable foes in fights against our enemies. So I repeated the same method, as in gather crystal while Nock is doing all the work. It's like making a cup of tea or coffee while waiting for your dinner to heat up in the microwave. Once Valis was defeated, I had a look into his loot bag and found a new item, Stone Guardian Head. If my guess is correct, this has to have something to do with golems, but I might be wrong. Anyways, I got the withered heart thinking, yes, I will get another big boy, but no, I was granted a Hanuman's gift, which is a potion that can give you a 60-minute buff closely related to combat, be it more damage or resilience. Well, that didn't go as planned, so I have just returned to the surface. I have spent another hour or so gathering more resources to carry on building with my new settlement. However, I decided to go to New Asagarth, as there are quite a few different loot spots as well as the named Thrall. I just wanted to level up my follower, yet I have managed to trigger the Purge. I didn't want to show this location just yet, but as the Purge has arrived, I didn't really have much other choice, and I have decided to reveal the new HQ. It seems big and spacious from the distance, but due to its placement on the hill, the usable space is maybe 50% of its actual size. Still, I like this place due to its close proximity to the lake underneath. As you can see, some of the elements of this build are not finished yet, and the reason being, me spending more time in our Noob River base to record some material for new videos. Here is a short presentation of what we are going to be spending most of our time in from now on. As in, this is our new HQ, and as you have already seen it, I will start migrating most useful stuff and resources from the starting location. I have placed Nock away from myself so it doesn't get in our way while I'll be giving you a small tour around the castle. So, the first floor contains just a few chests so I could drop off all the rubbish I gather from nearby areas. Now, the second floor hasn't been populated as much as it should be, however there are a few crafting stations that I needed to proceed with some work around here without a need to backtrack half a map to our operational HQ just to get some components we needed in here. And this is a third floor, which was supposed to be just an observatory, as well as it was supposed to have a roof, but Purge Meter stopped my progress like 2 episodes ago. While I was waiting for the Purge to come over, I thought I will use this time for the final preparation and I will put the gate to enclose this entire area. However, the game had another idea and it didn't really want me to put this gate in there. Kind of like it wanted me to face the reality and let the Purge wave to go through and level this building. But hey, I didn't want to give up and removed the stairs thinking they could be in the way, but they weren't. At least whatever comes in the Purge wave won't be able to easily climb in here. I have moved Gorilla Glue closer to the gate to act as a guardian, so just in case if I have to open the gate, it would be able to react defensively. And then, first wave came around. I was waiting for a while, but there was nothing coming in, so I came closer to the opened gate and expecting a massive wave, like giant snakes back in the day, I couldn't believe my eyes. There were literally 4 enemies going towards the HQ, which was like, what? One of the Purge Wolves got stuck in the foundation. This was also interesting as I kept hearing some barking in the background since Purge started, but it never had a chance to come over. It must have respawned in there. And this is a very badly missed opportunity to get a named Tanner. Thing is, I don't have any form of Wheel of Pain in here, hence the reason of me just going meh, I'll just get rid of him and prepare for the next Purge. So I kept fighting him and the wolves so I could clear this wave out and see what the next one brings. I picked up whatever he has dropped, and knowing that the Purge won't progress until all enemies have been defeated, I went back to the stuck wolf and I have removed 2 foundations to set the lone wolf free. And obviously I immediately wanted to place them back on, but I forgot that during the wave you cannot build anything. So I have watched the show as both of my Hanuman's gifts are defending this area without me. Once the wave has ended, I briefly thought of what shall I do next. Shall I just wait for the new wave, or try and build something to prevent them coming so closely to the base? I have noticed that the Purge meter is already partially filled in. If you know, could you please tell me if this is a spillover from the previous Purge meter? Anyways, I have placed 2 foundations back again and braced myself for yet another wave. This one was supposed to be carried out through the night, and I was up for it as the evil horn sound really suits the situation. You know, dark and mysterious, on the verge of extinction and so on. Just what Purge should be about. While I was waiting for the wave of newly spawned enemies to come through, I had the thought about reassigning the attributes so they could more accurately represent the current game style. My follower does most of the work, so I could drop melee weapons in favor of ranged weapons and support my follower with arrows. It would be also more engaging as right now I get stuck underneath the gorilla in close combat, which is a liability on its own.
Enemies approaching.
Wave number 3 was supposed to be just another regular one when I kept hearing multiple arrows banging against the wall. I was surprised to see 4 archers aiming at me, and I have sent Nock to tank most of the damage, when a 5th enemy has emerged, and it was yet another named Exile. This time it was an alchemist, which would really come in handy, but once again I did not have readily available Wheel of Pain, or, to be absolutely honest, a place prepared for it within the walls of my new HQ. I got rid of this wave and waited for another one, and ended up fighting against last remaining tier 3 fighter before the Purge has concluded. I tried building the gate once again, and guess what? This time the game felt like it will allow me to place it, so I did. And then I came around here with more resources and concluded building up the stairs. I gave them a finishing touch by adding some slanted walls on the side to make them look a little bit more like an actual architecture rather than hastily placed objects. I really like when things make sense instead of foundations floating in the air, multiple pieces of stairs linked to each other with no construction support underneath. You know, that wouldn't make sense in real life. I kind of like using the same lifelike rules to construct my buildings in here. Anyways, next in line was the set of stairs that led straight to the lower level of the actual building. This should make my life easier when I will be trying to get up there without need of finding the right place on the hill to climb up. I finished it up by adding few more foundations and went ahead to place some fences so they could act as rail guards so I won't fall down, especially on the lakeside, as there is only a single lane foundation which just asks for trouble. This also falls in line with my architect wannabe rules and makes the building look a little bit more like a finished project. Obviously I couldn't just go past this area without making it look right, so I have just added a few more foundations and carried on with the day. The most important part was left to be done as the last step. Obviously that doesn't make sense. If it's so important, why do it last? I will answer, I don't know. It's just the way I tend to go about collection of steps within a bigger project. And well, I was talking about making the outer wall a little bit taller so that the next purge would have to go through the walls, not around them. As I was getting slightly bored of building in here, I have decided to take Nock with me and visit the nearby camp, thinking I might get some rewards from the chest for clearing this place. Unfortunately, there was no chest in here, so joke's on me this time. Once I have left this area, I was thinking to revisit the new Asagarth when I have noticed a mammoth and said to myself, That's it. That's what I need to do next. Fight with that one creature as I have never done it before. So, as usual, I have sent Nock to deal with this for me, but that chunker was both pretty tanky and was dealing a great amount of damage. So I had to step in, as I really did not fancy losing yet another gorilla, as I did lose one in the new Asagarth a few episodes back, but I didn't really want to show this. I have to admit that this creature is a very formidable foe, as this took a lot of time, a strong follower and tons of bleeding effect to take it down. Once we have managed to defeat it, I retrieved whatever resources I could and carried on with roaming around this area. And that is it for today. Thank you so much for your time. Leave a like or dislike accordingly, drop a comment and maybe even subscribe. That would be neat. If so, I will see you in the next one. Deynon, out.